This is Skoda's next electric model to launch in Ireland. It's the new Skoda Elroq. Still heavily disguised in this beautiful camouflage, but we will see the covers taken off this car in the autumn, and then it should go on sale in Ireland in 2025. So it's a bit of an electric Karoq, if you want to think of it like that. It slots between the larger Enyaq electric SUV and the upcoming Skoda Epic, which is going to be an electric small SUV, a bit smaller than this. Now, Skoda Ireland have invited us to Amsterdam to take a first drive in this. So if that sounds interesting, please stay watching. I'm going to tell you a bit more about the battery and the expected range and a few more details as well. I'm Caroline and this is the Carzone YouTube channel. There's going to be a few different battery options for this. There's going to be an Elroq 50, 60, 85 and 85X. That's for dual motor, but the other versions are going to be rear wheel drive. Now that largest battery version, Skoda says it'll have a range of over 560 kilometres. The mid-range battery, the Enyaq 60, that's going to have a range over 390 kilometres, they've said. And then that smaller entry-level battery, a range over 350 kilometres. So it does all look very competitive when you look at the battery and range. It also has fast charging capabilities up to 175 kilowatt, so a 10 to 80% charge in less than 30 minutes. The Enyaq is already on sale in Ireland and it does sell in pretty good numbers. But this is going to be a little bit smaller. No surprises, it's an SUV because that is what sells really well in the market and there is huge demand for that. There will be a fair few rivals for this, things like the Volvo EX30, the Kia EV3, the Renault Scenic, the BYD Atto 3. There is lots of them, really. Now, I don't want to talk too much about design because this is obviously heavily camouflaged, but there are a few things I'd like to point out. So it has Skoda's new modern solid design language. So it's going to be quite tough and robust, definitely very familiar as a Skoda. If you think of it as a kind of an electric Karoq, but just a bit more modern and futuristic, I imagine. A new feature is Skoda spelled out here across the bonnet. And they're also going to introduce this thing called the Tech Deck. And that's going to be like a black panel here. It's going to hide the radar and also the camera. The lights as well, you can kind of see that there's this split level lighting going on. Air scoops there around the side and big wheels, 18 to 21 inch. And of course, they've tried to give it quite a smooth design to improve the aerodynamics of the car. Again, we can see some more of this beautiful camouflage. Not quite sure what the flamingo connection is, but it's certainly very eye-catching. You can see the lights here, they will be LED. Skoda spelled out across here. And boot volume is going to be about 470 litres, which does seem good for a compact SUV like this. And of course, Skoda is all about building very spacious, practical family cars. So I expect that this will continue that theme. So you join me behind the wheel of the new Skoda Elroq here in Amsterdam. One of 6 new electric Skodas that we're going to see in the next few years. There's going to be a revised Enyaq Coupe, a new small electric SUV called the Epic, and also an electric estate car and an electric 7-seater. So Skoda are well on their way on this electrification journey. And this uses the Volkswagen Group's MEB platform that also underpins the Skoda Enyaq and also the ID3 and the ID4. So certainly this feels very familiar from behind the wheel. It's a bit of a mini Enyaq, really. Nice smooth steering. The ride quality seems very good as well on first impressions. Though the true test will be getting it back to an Irish rural road, of course. I'm driving the Elroq 85. Now that's the one with the largest battery, so 77 kilowatt hour battery, a range of what Skoda says more than 560 kilometres and 280 horsepower. So it's the one with the most power and performance. It does feel very nice on the road. There's plenty of power there. There's different driving modes as well. There is the option of dynamic chassis control also, but the ride quality does seem pretty good, I have to say. There are going to be lower capacity battery versions as well, so the Elroq 50, also the Elroq 60 as well. Now that Elroq 60 is probably that kind of mid-range car, and it has a 59 kilowatt hour battery, and what Skoda has a range of more than 390 kilometers, so I could see that being a good option. Their rear wheel drive is standard. The top of the range 85X will be dual motor, so it'll have an electric motor on the front and rear axle for all-wheel drive. So certainly plenty of options in the range. Now Skoda Ireland aren't sure if they'll actually bring in that very entry level model, and to be honest, I'm sure the Elroq 60 and 85 would probably meet the needs of Irish buyers more, just having that bit more range, a bit more comfort. Now they all do get this fast charging capability up to 175 kilowatt. That is very, very impressive. So 10 to 80% in under 28 minutes, and 11 kilowatt AC charging as standard. So it all looks very good on paper. Skoda obviously has a very strong presence in Ireland, 10% market share. They're one of the top 3 best-selling brands, and the Enyaq has sold in good numbers since it came to market. And I can see this for anybody maybe driving a Elroq, which of course is fuel powered, and they want to go electric. Here's what you've got, and it's a nice modern face for the brand. All the controls here fall easy to hand from behind the wheel as well. Now I can't really talk much about the interior, we're not allowed to talk about that just yet. All will be revealed at a later date, but as I said, it's kind of mini Enyaq. All that's great about Enyaq, but here in a more compact package. So that's all from the cabin of the Skoda Elroq on this first drive in Amsterdam. The full car will be revealed without the camouflage in October roughly of this year, so we should all look forward to that definitely. And this is expected to reach Ireland probably 2025 realistically, and pricing will be announced closer to launch. Obviously there is a lot of competitors and there's new ones coming. You've got Kia EV3, also the Renault Scenic, then there's BYD Atto 3, there's also the new Volvo EX30. There's lots of different things competing in this space, but yeah, Skoda has a pretty strong customer base in Ireland. They're very much loved by the Irish driver, so I can see this really doing well. So that's all from behind the wheel. You can read more over on Carzone.ie, and I've left a link in the description below the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.